Alrighty, we'll wait 2 minutes or so, 3 minutes for our attendees to arrive. And then we will go through the Getting Started webinar training for ArtCloud, for our ArtCloud Manager. Alrighty, I see a couple people here. Yay. Hello, Ernesto. Thanks for being here. My name is Megan Schaefer. I'm the creative director here at ArtCloud and your host for today. And our fearless leader, Christine Ancamo, will be our webinar guide for getting started with ArtCloud. We'll go through all of the fundamentals and all the important things to get you going in your ArtCloud account. Hello. Happy Wednesday. I was telling Christine before, I was asking her, what are you doing this weekend? And then I realized that it's only Wednesday. Weird question to ask on a Wednesday. Alrighty, well, let's get started. Again, my name's Megan, and we're going to go through this webinar. We're going to have a full recording of it, so this is being recorded, and we will send out the recording with the presentation and lots of information for you to make sure that you put your best foot forward with ArtCloud in the next couple days here. Christine is an arts professional and artist herself. She is on our customer success team and is going to be leading us through the platform today with all the tips and tricks and the basics, everything you need to know. So Christine, you want to take it away?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Megan.
Welcome.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ArtCloud 101. My name's Christine, and I'm going to be walking you through getting started with ArtCloud. So this is a beginner course designed for people who are new to the platform. So if you're already familiar with ArtCloud, be on the lookout for an advanced webinar coming soon. We suggest that you go ahead and log into your account so you can switch back and forth from this presentation so you can follow along. So there's a lot of stuff to cover. We're gonna get in there, and so let's go ahead and get started. All right. So I'm going to load my ArtCloud Manager. So when you log in using your credentials, this is the first thing that you'll see. And just to give you a lay of the land, here on the left, we have your navigation menu. So, and then there's 3 tabs at the top here. So we have your manager, that's the first thing you'll see. And there's your navigation for your manager. You also have a tab here for the marketplace, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and for your website. So if you have an ArtCloud website connected, this is where you'll design and manage it. But today is all about the manager. So I'm going to go ahead and load that. So here, like I said, this is your navigation menu. And depending on what you select here, it's going to load it in this what I call the action area. So this is where you'll do all your managing. So your artists, exhibitions, etc. So let's go back to the dashboard. And like I said, this is the first thing you see when you log in. So at the top here, we have these quick links for sort of the day-to-day things that you might do at an artwork, add a contact, create an invoice. And below that, we have to-dos. And for me, this is one of my favorite things of ArtCloud. That's really great for tracking tasks. And when I was working in galleries, I would have loved to have this because you will get email reminders. You can put dates, due dates on the tasks, and you can also you can assign them to different staff members. So let's go ahead and create a to-do to show you what that looks like. I want to send this to our staff member, Jane. And let's say that she needs to schedule an installation for the design center. And let's go ahead and put a due date on that. So let's say for a week from now. And you can also, associate it with a client or a contact. So let's say that this is for something that our client Angel Perry was working on. So you go ahead and create that to do. And right now I'm just looking at my to-dos, but if I go to all of the to-dos, we'll see that installation, that to-do. Oh, it looks like I've already created one. So this is a good example. I can click on this pen to edit that to-do, or I can mark it as off. It looks like we have some overdue to-dos. So Megan, I think we're going to need to get to work on knocking those off the list.
Of our fictional gallery account, yeah.
Yes, the fictional ArtCloud gallery that all of us want to work at. So let's go into your account settings, because this is the first thing that you'll need to set up. It's all the sort of behind the scenes items to get your gallery up and running with ArtCloud. And so at the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see your name or the name of your gallery listed there. And if you click on that little caret drop down, that'll pull up the menu. While we're here, I want to point out that this is where you can access our knowledge base. And when you click on the knowledge base, it pulls up all of our articles, and you can browse by topic, or you can search for things. So let's say I want to remember how to create tags. And in these articles, we have visuals and GIFs and some videos, and then links at the bottom to similar topics and related articles. So that's a great place to get information. You can also email us at support@artcloud.com, and we're there 9 to 5, Monday through Friday Eastern, and to answer your questions. So, and we are real live people. Right, Megan?
Yes, we are.
So you're never going to be talking to a bot. All right, so let's go ahead and go into your account settings. I'm just going to go top to bottom here. I'm not going to go through all of these for the sake of time, but I just want to touch on some of the main things here. So under your profile, this is where you can change your password, your login password. And then you can also create an email signature here. So, and that can be, you can choose the font and the weight and everything, however you want it to look. You can add an image, your logo, whatever you want. And then down here, we also support email integration. So if you have a Gmail account or a email through Google or Office 365, you can integrate here. And what that means is that if you initiate an email through ArtCloud, you'll also see it in your Gmail account in the sent folder. And we'll also save that for you as activity here inside ArtCloud. So we encourage you to set that up if you have either Google or Office 365. So the next item here is locations. And what I want to show you here is very important. So, and also to illustrate that with ArtCloud, to keep the interface clean, we like to have the main information here, but if you hover over certain items, you'll see these little menus that pop up. So you'll know that you can edit things there. So I hovered over the name Lantana Fine Art, and from the menu, I'm going to select edit, edit. And what I want to point out here is, of course, you can enter your business information, but tax rates. This is an important thing to get set up, because you can set a default tax rate for your invoices. So I'm going to go ahead and add default sales tax for Atlanta, and lovely Atlanta city tax. Megan, do you know what it is? Pop quiz.
No idea.
Okay. I looked it up.
It's
8.5.
Yeah, there we go.
Apparently, there's probably other stuff on top of that, but so I'm going to make this a default tax. It's active. I'm going to save that. And if you have other, state taxes or other hospitality tax, whatever it is, you can add multiple tax rates here. And by the same token, if you need to edit it, say maybe I was wrong, it's not 8.5, you can always edit it using that little pencil. All right, so we have a tax rate set up. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the marketplace. So this is actually a perk of your subscription. It's the ability to list your inventory and your exhibitions online, and it's a commission-free source to sell artwork and gather leads. So I'm just going to hop over here and show you what the ArtCloud Marketplace looks like. So visitors to the ArtCloud Marketplace can browse by artwork. They can, click in here and browse by artists, which is very nice. We have our gallery listings here. You can even go by city. So if you're visiting New Orleans this weekend, you want to see what galleries are available, you can click on there. And there's also this exhibitions area, which is nice if you want to just browse around. But let's go to the artworks. I want to show you some of the cool ways that people can browse for artwork. So you can, go by theme. You can search by price. Let's narrow it down. Let's say we want to spend something between 2,000 and 20,000. I think that sounds good. You can even browse by color, which is really great. We have an algorithm that picks those colors out, so you don't have to do any tagging or anything like that on your end. You can browse by medium, dimensions if you're looking for a large piece, who knows, etc., and time period, all sorts of things. But once you have this list, viewers can click on the information, and if you have Stripe enabled on your account, they can purchase directly from the ArtCloud Marketplace. They can make an offer if you've allowed that, and or they can inquire. And so this is great because you'll get an email inquiry and you can start that conversation. And also, by the same token, the person's contact information will be saved directly into your contacts. Megan, do you have anything to add about the marketplace? I know you used to use it when you were an art consultant.
I did. I actually really commonly use the exhibitions function. It's really beyond some of the big boys like Artsy and some of these places, they get really bogged down. It was a really fun way to search for artwork based on sort of a more interesting topic, or what's happening in the exhibition space with everything from like a gallery that sells more merchandise and other things besides fine art, to high-end fine art. So that's somewhere that I really like to dwell, since I learned about ArtCloud about 7 years ago. So yeah.
Yeah, and you can also follow artists here. And so, when clients follow artists, they'll get weekly updates with similar artworks. And if there's any activity on that particular artist,
I've gotten those weekly emails for years, so it's cool. Well, Christine, will you show us more in the settings?
Yes, let's go back to those settings. I don't want to get too off topic with the marketplace, but one more thing to point out here in the marketplace is go ahead and add a cover photo and a little blurb about your gallery. And if you wanted to enable that make an offer button, this is where you would do that. So the next item I wanted to show here is configuration. So this is where you'll upload your account logo, and that will feed into your website and your collateral. We'll talk about collateral in a little bit, but any sort of documents that you create in ArtCloud, and so it'll pull from this logo. And speaking of collateral, basically collateral is branded documents that you might create in ArtCloud. So things like wall labels or price lists, tear sheets or fact sheets that you want to send potential clients, and consignment reports and invoices. All of that is driven by, and it's what we call collateral. So in this case, we loaded a different logo. We want our logo to be square. So for collateral, it'll pull from here. If we didn't have a logo listed here, it would pull from your account logo, but we can override that with this collateral logo. So you can choose your font style and also your font colors. Something else I want to point out under collateral is the default settings. So you can set some default invoice comments, for example, like all right, I'll put a period. And you have default certificate of authenticity text. And also if you have return to artist terms, you can enter that here.
This is what I think makes ArtCloud very unique, and not like other, platforms that you can sell things on. This I like to refer to, just having a background in branding and marketing, as your brand kit within ArtCloud. So you only need to do these things once, and then your certificate of authenticities, basically your everything is branded to your specific company's style. So even when staff members are like looking to use a font that, and maybe I'm just kind of picky about this, but like everything is the same, and so it looks ultra professional from day one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just saves you all that time of having to search down templates that you created in Word, and like, it's all here at your fingertips, which is really great. The next item up for bid here is integration. So we wanted to point this out. If you wanted to enable e-commerce on your website, if you have a connected website with ArtCloud, or if you want to sell on the ArtCloud marketplace, or if you want to send invoices that enable remote pay, you want to toggle on your Stripe account and create an account with them. And once you enable Stripe, you can then enable Apple Pay. Another integration that we support is MailChimp. So you can sync your contacts with MailChimp if you're using that for email marketing. There is an upgrade with ArtCloud where with the Pro Plus account, you can do email marketing within ArtCloud. But if you're still on MailChimp, you can sync that way. But if you want more information about upgrading to having email campaigns within ArtCloud, we're happy to send you that information from support. Another item to look at is staff. So I wanted to point that out because with your subscription, you get a main account and one staff account. And the beauty of having these staff accounts is your staff member can log in, and we can actually control, as the main account and a logger, you can control what this staff member sees and what notifications they receive. So I'll just put a picture in for them. I'm just going to click there. Let's see if I have a photo. There's our staff member. And under permissions, let's say that we don't want our staff member to see the inventory financials, for example, or we don't want her to edit the staff members. And then over here under this tab, maybe we want to set what notifications they receive. So we want them to stay on top of their to-dos. So we're going to send them that daily to-do summary. And but she doesn't really need to see inbound artist consignments, for example. So that's where you would set up your staff and their permissions. And so those are the basics that are going to get you started with the settings, and we'll go into more of these settings in a later video, more advanced webinar. So, all right, where should we go next? I think inventory is probably the next place to go. So this is what your inventory window looks like, and there's different ways to pull up the information that you want to see. We're going to look at sorting your inventory and how we view it, and then searching your inventory. So let's say that we also sell books. Well, in this account, we don't have any books, but if we had something like books or catalogs, you could bring up just that, or you could look at your artwork. And right now we have status listed here. We're looking at everything, but we could, if we wanted to, look at inactive items. And so you'll notice these dots here that indicate these are status indicators. So if you hover over that little red dot, that means that this artwork is on an invoice, and this is a dynamic link that you can click on, and that's going to pop open that invoice for you, and you can look at it and reference that quickly and easily there. A black dot means it's inactive, and that could be something that is out on consignment, or maybe something that you return to the artist studio. Well, let's see what this black dot even means. Let's go into that artwork. And you can look under history to view the status. So that on April 19th, this staff member, Anna Logger, changed the location to return to artist from gallery. Okay, so we know that that's in the artist's studio now. How are we looking? Let's see. How about if we want to search? I don't know. We want to make a list of prints that we want to send out for consideration to an art consultant. So we want to look at all our prints. And this is a tag that we've created on our work. So we want to see the prints regardless of, is it a photograph? Is it a screen print, etc. So all these prints come up. And now, well, we only want to see active prints. Okay. All right. So now we have our tag is prints and we're only seeing active items. And maybe we want to just see this one artist's, Kim's prints. That we know that this art consultant is only interested in Kim's work. So if I start searching by Kim, there she is. So the beauty of that search function is that it's additive, and I really like that a lot. And then you can clear out your search to reset it. So sometimes if you're searching for something and then you come back and that search toggle is going to still be activated. So you just want to make sure that you clear out of that. We also have this friendly blue tornado. I love this little guy. It's something that you'll see throughout ArtCloud. It's like a genie. And what you can do with that friendly blue tornado is customize what you're looking at. So let's actually, I'm going to do something else before I go to the friendly blue tornado. I want to change what I'm looking at here. The default is inventory, price, size, medium, but I also want to see maybe what's on the website. So if I click on this little blue cog here, I have a whole slew of things I can choose from to organize my inventory. So I want to see what's on the website, maybe what's on the marketplace. I also want to see where things are located. And I want to change the order that I'm looking at these things in this column here. So if you click on these little gray dots here, these 6 gray dots, you can pull up that information. So let's say I'm more interested in location, medium. Let's pull medium down. There we go. All right. So now we see the location is there. Again, studio, gallery. This can be really dynamic. I'll show you where to set the locations later, but you could even be as specific as flat file A, drawer 2, so let's say I want to see I want to create a list with Kim's work. And I want to see what's active. Okay, great. And I also want to see just what's in the gallery. So if I select my little friendly blue tornado and I say, I just want to look at locations, let's see what's in the gallery. Okay, great. So now I can see I have these 3 things. I can send this for consideration to that art consultant. So let's pop into one of these inventory records and see the kind of information that you can save here. So again, we have this concept of tabbing across ArtCloud. And so if you're looking at an item, you can always hit these tabs to explore the different areas of information. And we encourage you to go through there, explore, and see what kind of trouble you can get into with all those tabs. But in the overview, I wanted to point out again, like the artwork and merchandise area. So if this was a catalog, you could change that here, and that would allow you to enter a quantity of things. So let's say that you have 10 catalogs from an artist. So you would enter something as merchandise, and then as things sell, that number is going to count down until you get to 0. We also have edition type, and this is very dynamic. It's also more advanced. So we'll come back to edition types, probably we might even do a dedicated webinar just for editions because it's so robust. But you have the ability to save things as original, limited, or unlimited editions. Yeah, so here's where you add your tags. And let's see, what other kind of stuff can we look at here? Oh, marketplace and website. So if you want to list an item on the marketplace, you would toggle it on here. And by the same, let's say I just want to take that off the website, I mean the marketplace, but if I do want it on the website, I can toggle that on here. Uploads is where you upload your images, and this is actually unlimited, as however many images you want to put here. So if you have a detail shot or if you have an image of the signature, you can enter that information here, and that will be viewable on the website as additional images, or you can also send it out when you send out collateral. You have the option to do that. And so all those images can be up to 20 megabytes. And you can also save documents here. So if you have, if this is an owned item and you have a bill of sale or a certificate of authenticity, it's a great place to save any additional, oh, maybe there was an article about this piece, or if it was in a special museum exhibition, you can save that information here and access it easily later rather than trying to track it down in your computer. We'll do all the organizing for you, basically, so you don't have to worry about creating folders and subfolders and who knows what else in your computer.
And because we're a web platform, wherever you log in ArtCloud, your information is there for you, which is great because if you don't have your computer with you and you need to access something, you can log in, at a hotel computer or whatever, and it's safe and all in there.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Megan. That is a really great point. That's the beauty part of the cloud. So you don't have to worry about those 20 megabyte documents, bogging down your laptop or whatever, when you're out on the road in the field. So one thing I did want to also point out under this financial tab is you can enter insurance values. And you can add additional expenses. So if you have, shipping costs that you need to reimburse to the artist off the top of a sale, or framing costs that need to be reimbursed, you can enter that information here. And when you go to sell the item, ArtCloud will automatically do that calculating for you. And then here we have history. So if something is, like I showed you earlier, that item was returned to the artist, any kind of action like that will show up under history, and you'll also see the staff member. And then we also have interested contacts. So that would be someone that perhaps inquired on the marketplace or your website. That person will then be automatically added as an interested contact on this particular artwork. So yeah, I think we're ready to look at some collateral. Are you ready, Megan?
I am. Before we do that, we were going to make a list for the fictional art consultant. Can we take these 3 pieces and add it to a list and do some fun stuff with it so we know that it can get there?
Absolutely. So let's say we did our search, and if you use this little box here, you can click on that and you can select all these items. And then we have this apply actions menu. So if you click on that, and we want to add this to a list, so I'm going to click, and we're going to add this as a quick list. So a quick list is essentially like a living checklist. And you can always access your quick lists under inventory. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of grayed out right now. I'll show you that later, but there's a quick list area. But we're going to make a new quick list. And we want to, let's give it a title, Kim project, or if this is a project proposal, whatever it is that you might want to call it. So now we have our artwork. You can click and drag items around. You can also add more artwork to a quick list. So let's say we also wanted to show, let me see, I don't know, Carlos. We want to add Carlos in there as a wild card. And maybe we want to change the order by price descending. Or no, let's do price ascending. Anyways, you can, or inventory, that was the wrong one. Price ascending. There we go. So you can change your order there and be very specific. You can curate how it looks, and then you can send this as an email, or you can export it to different things. So if we wanted to send this out, we might export it as an email. And let's say we want to see big, beautiful images. So I would probably send a tear sheet. You can add in your message content, and then you'll see here how you have an image and the inventory information.
And this is another place where you don't need to think about the font, the typeface, all your branding is in there. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's say that we are having a pop-up show and we want to make some wall labels. That's what we call the wall tags. And we have different label templates here that you can choose from. And depending on the label that you have selected, you can also tab these different things that you might want to include. Maybe we don't need framing, and we don't need inventory number. Let's say we want a QR code that links back to our website. That would be available on a bigger label like the Avery 5164. So maybe we even want to do a logo. So let's do that. We want a QR code that links back to our website, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see that there's all these things that you can add or subtract, and you can then print this or export it as a PDF. We could also send it as a price list. And again, you can choose what you include or exclude on that list. And oh, maybe you also want this right now, the logo centered, but you want it left aligned. That looks good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and email that. And oh, I also wanted to point out that when you send an email, ArtCloud gives you an option to add artist interest for the recipients. So what that means is that now that I'm sending this artwork by Carlos and I'm sending something by Kim, next time I open up that contact card, let's say Angel Perry. These artists are going to show up as interests for Angel Perry.
This is definitely a hack for our CRM because, for example, if they have new work come in, ArtCloud will already remember that Angel, 4 years ago was interested in these pieces. So it's just less information that you need to hold in your brain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so and then you can also export it as a CSV. We have all sorts of things here.
Let's learn about how we can put artists in an artist record. Is that next?
Yes, artists is next. Actually, one thing I will point out is that when we do to add inventory, you can always click on this button that says add inventory, or you can import CSV, or rather a spreadsheet. But when you add inventory with a new artist, ArtCloud will actually create an artist profile for you, which it's automatically do that, which is really great. So let's see. Let's look at Carlos. What does Carlos have in his contact? So you have a profile image and a cover image for this artist, and that will feed into the website. And also if you're sending out like collateral, like an artist bio, and you'll also want to fill out the biography. Let me find an artist that has a bio in there already. Okay, here's a good example. So there's a cover image, which will feed into the website, and a profile image of this artist. And then you also have this biography that you can edit and make beautiful, and that will that again will feed the website into the different collateral we were looking at. So yeah, let's see. What else do we want? I want to, I'll bring up consignment. So you can set your consignment contract with a percentage or amount that you have with each artist at the artist level. You can also do it by individual inventory, but let's say that this artist actually gets 60% consignment. So you would set that here. So for every new artwork you enter into ArtCloud, it'll automatically assign this consignment split with that particular piece. And so when if you're invoicing through ArtCloud later in the analytics, you'll be able to see that breakdown, which is nice. So it does all the accounting for you, which is really nice. Let's see. And here are the interested contacts I was talking about earlier. And under marketplace and website, you can decide if you want this artist to show up on your website or the marketplace or not.
Yeah, and in certain situations, if you have an ArtCloud website, say if you have an artist that's like a guest artist for an exhibition, a particular exhibition, then you may, not want to show them on the website. There's a variety of reasons why you would or wouldn't want something to show up.
Yeah. Also, I'll point out quickly while we're here is this little invite link. You can invite your artists to have free ArtCloud accounts. And so as they enter their information in their own inventory, they can consign works to you and it'll automatically populate in your account when you accept that consignment. But we'll talk about that in a later view. Oh, and then one more thing I wanted to point out here is the overview. So we can see at the top here, Kim has 7 works that we've entered into ArtCloud. She has 3 interested contacts, and this is the amount of sales that we've generated for her. I think we're getting close on time, but I just wanted to cover a couple of things. Invoicing, very important. So let's look at the workflow for creating an invoice. So selecting invoice in your navigation here, it pulls up this action area, and let's go ahead and create an invoice. Let's say, how about for someone, Lisa? And if with this plus sign, we can then add the artwork. I'm going to add Carlos. I like these artworks here, these plants.
Yeah. I guess you can tell who added those in by looking behind me.
Right. Another great thing on the invoices is that you can add line items. So let's say that you are also providing installation and delivery. I think, let's say $500 would be a fair price for that. It's local. And then here you can also select if you are adding tax to a particular item. So this piece, we definitely want to add our Atlanta city tax to that. So we have sales tax here, but we don't want to charge tax on that installation. So I'm going to take that off. And also I want to give a discount on the artwork, but not the installation. So you can set that discount here at the line level, I guess you could call it. Yeah, 10% discount. Or if you did want to discount the installation also, you could enter that discount here. And so here's that city tax I had said was automatic. You can also add an additional tax rate, manual entry, or maybe it's out of state. So I'm going to delete the tax. And so now we have this grand total, and then you'll see we have an open invoice on the status. And now maybe I want to email this to my client. Yeah, there's my message, and there's the invoice. Or I could choose that I want to only have certain information on here. So I went to export, and I want to take off that staff. What do I want? I don't want a SKU on there or an inventory number. There we go. That's looking better. Maybe I want my logo on the right. Beautiful. Yeah, I think that looks nice. So I can email my contact from here, or I can print or export a PDF and send it that way.
Hey, Christine,
So,
I've got a question for you.
okay, shoot.
When you've got Stripe enabled, which is our
Oh,
preferred
yeah.
credit card processing supplier, when you email this, the
Mhm.
live link comes through, right? So they can
It
just pay
does.
their credit card and you get the money in the bank, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. So if we had Stripe enabled on this account, you would also have a unique link here that your client could click and pay on their side. They enter their credit card information, and then that will um, uh, flip the status of your invoice to close. If they were paying by check, for example, you would actually enter the payment as what we call a ledger payment. So you can do that too, or if they Venmo you or whatever it might be. So let's just say they send a check number 321. Let's say it's for the full amount. We add the payment, and then you'll notice that that status is now changed to closed. And let's see. So we don't have time to go through analytics, but we will do that at a later date. But just quickly to show you under consignment, if you since we wait, who no, that was Carlos that we did. Show items. Whoops, show items. So if there's that payment we just recorded, and now we can see that we owe the artist this much. And oops, yeah. So you can, like I said, we can follow that in a later webinar. But I just wanted to give you a quick dip into that. You can make these beautiful consignor PDFs and choose what information that you include and export that for your artist, or you can email it. And let me see if I can show you what that looks like. Oops, what happened? Oh, it's attached there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes, yes. Analytics. It's really dynamic. A lot of people have come over to ArtCloud just for the analytics alone. So I want to give that its proper time. But you have sales over time, and you can choose, the date range. And yeah, it's really great. Well, like I said, we don't have time to go into all of that nitty gritty, because I want to show you contacts before we open up to some questions.
Get your questions ready.
Yes, get your questions ready. So let's say that we want to create a list of just our curators or our VIPs. And if you're using the tagging system, let's say we want to look up the curator that tags. So all of these contacts have been tagged as curators. And so, maybe I want to see who my curators are, and I want to see what kind of activity we've had with a certain curator. So I really wanted to show this before we end here, is these you can see their interests, and this activities section is really great. So instead of having to slog through emails and notes and this, that, and the other, everything is ArtCloud will condense everything here for you. So if you have some email exchanges, or you can add a note like, this curator was at LACMA, now they're at MoCA. You can create notes, create to-dos, and then you can also track their purchase history. So you can see, oh, this is what this was the activity on their account. So that's pretty sweet. That will save a lot of time. I wish I had that when I was working in galleries. Like pretty much everything that I click on in ArtCloud, I'm like, I wish I had that. Saves so much time. But anyway, so at a later date, we'll talk about marketing and sales. Some of these items are available with the Pro Plus account. And like I said, we'll go into analytics at a later date. And we also are going to be presenting some really great webinars on the website. And I think that is a quick dip, and we are right at 45 minutes.
Good job, Christine. We've got a live question from Ernesto that I'm hoping we can answer. Are there any pointers for importing inventory from Artsy? From what I remember, we have an Artsy, a pretty easy way to do that. I actually
Yes.
might know that off the top of my head. So
Okay.
we've had many galleries do that before. So rest assured, we can help you do that. Um,
Yes. Is that, am I in the right place in import?
Oh yeah, download template. If you go,
Yes.
yeah, see, oh here we
Okay.
go. So select
Yeah.
import source, and then you can come from various places. And obviously, a
Yeah.
CSV you can pretty much download from multiple systems and
Yeah.
places. So yeah.
Yeah. We can, that would be something that would be a great thing to come into support for, because we can walk you through the steps of downloading a template if you have if you have a spreadsheet, and we'll help you configure it so that you can get your inventory into ArtCloud. But yeah, this let me just show you again how I got there. So I went to my name, account settings, and I went to the import area, and then up here under new import, and then there's the Artsy.
Cool.
Can
See, I'm
you?
learning stuff too.
Yay! Me too. We did it. We did it. Oh, you can even change the your.
Oh,
Oh,
handy.
yes.
All right. Do we have any other questions before we go over some best practices? I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I talk about the accounting method, or did I skip that?
I don't think we talked about it. Let's
Oh,
touch on it
okay.
quickly.
Oh, yeah. One more thing I wanted to show you that's important in configuration, thinking about sales and invoices now under configuration here is the accounting method. So you have two options. You could do cash or accrual. Ugh, that's a hard word to say. Accrual. um, and that will feed into your analytics. So that's something that you want to talk to your accountant about how they want that information to be fed into analytics. You can also change your date format here, and your time zone, and your units of measurement. So I just, when I was thinking about the metric system, I mean, oh yeah, I forgot to talk about configuration and units of measurement. So
Cool.
yeah.
We want to flip back to our slides. You went over a lot of stuff. So, all of those lovely things. And then best practices.
Yeah.
Here.
I'll let you take it away because
Cool. What we always say to everybody is more is better in our cloud manager. Obviously, there's fields for pretty much everything you can think of, and the more fields you have filled in, the better off you'll be over time. And the better off you'll be if you have an ArtCloud website for SEO strength, which we already have built into our websites. But obviously, the more data and specific descriptions you have in there, the smarter that you'll feel down the road, and then the smarter your website will be. Harness the power of tags. We sort of touched on tags, and we touched on tags. That's actually in account settings, is where your tag management lives. So you can edit and organize your tags, but that's how you can remind yourself like who's a VIP within contacts, because tags apply to your contacts as well as your inventory. So you can just know more and be able to stay super organized. Yeah, there we go. And then setting the default terms and conditions for invoices. That was just a best practice that Christine pretty thoroughly covered. Just so you know, it's less to think about. It's saving yourself time down the road. That's kind of what we're all about. And then I think our last best practice was just using the heck out of the, I was about to say a bad word, using the heck out of the ArtCloud knowledge base. So we work really hard to make it a pretty in-depth encyclopedia of art cloudiness. So feel free to go in there, and then if you can't find what you're looking for, we are always here for you, support@artcloud.com, or write into the chat, and we're happy to help you do whatever, you know, fulfill your dreams.
Yes, we can do it all. I mean, and believe it or not, we just scratched the surface. So this literally is just going to get you started on your journey, and there's a lot more stuff that you can do and explore with ArtCloud.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here today, and I will be in touch with the recording of this webinar along with lots of other helpful information. And thank you so much for being an ArtCloud customer, and we will look forward to speaking with you soon.
Yay.
All
Okay,
right.
bye everybody.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
See ya.
Alrighty.